I am not super into romance, but it is a topic that comes across various fandoms, and sometimes the concept could either improve a story or downright ruin it. So I want to get into a few media that has tackled the idea of romance. So, but my whole thing with romance in the first place is that I've seen fandoms so obsessed with which character falls in love with who that it generally overtakes the plot of the story or just ruins the characters. I'm like, are you in this to enjoy a story, or do you want to see which character kisses which character? Because if it's the latter, then I don't know what to tell you. So let's start with a big one, the Sonic the Hedgehog fandom. So when I play the Sonic games, I don't really think about who Sonic feels romantically attracted to, or any character for that matter. I just want to play a game with a speedy hedgehog just running through robots. But of course, romance has a slight role in it thanks to the character Amy Rose. If I'm going to be completely honest, I do not care for the romance story when it comes to Amy. One, it's a little cringy. Like, I can understand the humor that she's chasing him, he's running off, maybe he's shy, maybe he's not interested, whatever. But the idea of it being a genuine romance story just feels off to me. And I know in Japan they have their own way of doing romance, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing, in my opinion. I've seen Naruto handle this idea better of a girl liking a guy from a distance, determining that that's her crush, and then going for it. With Sonic, they take a more humorous approach to her, with Amy always going after Sonic, to the point where he does look visibly uncomfortable at points. But I think lately, I can't tell if Sega's trying to move away from Amy's crush or make Sonic more accepting. Sega's a bit of a crap show right now when it comes to writing. But I just never cared much for Amy's romance for Sonic. Other in-game romances include the rumored Knuckles and Rouge. I could not care less about their romance either. It looks kind of cringy, in my opinion. The that's about it when it comes to the games. I think there's also Silver and Blaze, but it's a little mix of that counts as a genuine romantic pair, or if they're just really good friends. But outside the games, when it comes to Sonic romance, you got to talk about Sally Acorn. Sally Acorn was actually Sonic's girlfriend in the Sonic's at the End TV show and Archie comics. Now, I actually do like the two as a couple. Like, they don't need to be a couple, honestly. They work fine even if they're not dating, but I like the idea. I feel like that romance story is a little bit better. You got the cool, speedy guy, you got the girl who doesn't have the powers, but they still come together. It's like a Superman and Lois Lane type thing. Or just the fact that Sally kind of grounds Sonic, while Sonic shows Sally a different side of things. Like, if Sally is Princess Jasmine, Sonic is Aladdin showing her the world. But Sally provides Sonic some stability, so if he ever needs someplace to come home to, he has Sally's hut. I mean, in the games, I think even he would crash with Tails in his workshop, so in the comics and stuff, he has Sally in her hut or her castle, whatever it is at the moment. But I just like their bond a little better. So obviously, you could have the whole Sonic versus Sally thing. My thing, I think Sonic is just fine with Sally, and if he's not with Sally, then whatever. It's no big deal. But I just really hate how badly romance has ruined the Sonic franchise, especially as it got worse in the IDW comics. Like, we have a few what if pairings throughout the franchise. What if Tails got together with Cream? What if Silver got together with Whisper? I know with Tails, he's had at least 3 of love interests or something. Sonic X, I think, showed something with him and Cosmo. Really didn't care. Sonic Boom showed him with a girl named Zoe. Really didn't care. Archie Comics showed him with a girl named Mina. It was a little better. Tails had a thing with older girls in the Archie comics, considering his fling with Barbie and this whole thing with Fiona Fox. So, but yeah, let's take a break from Sonic here. I want to move on to, like, I mean, I could try Mario, but honestly, the only The thing with Mario is just the whole, does he like Princess Peach or not? And I really don't. Once again, I really do not care, what that thing is. But it's like, I don't think even Nintendo knows half the time what the whole point of the thing with Mario and Peach is, or Luigi and Daisy. Yeah, so Mario does not really need romance, in my opinion. So people talk about with My Hero Academia. People are trying to decide if Izuku Midoriya, the main character, ended up that girl, Ochaku Uraraka. Once again, I'm going to say this. I do not care about this romance story that is supposedly developing between the two. Throughout the entirety of the manga and anime, they're just awkward around each other. And I don't even think Izuku likes Ochaku that way. If he's awkward around her, it's because she's a girl. Because he's been awkward around other girls. You put him with someone like Melissa Shield, he gets awkward because she gets near him. So it's not an Ochaku thing, it's a girl thing in general. I feel like if any girls just try to talk to him normally, then he is going to be receptive, and it'll make it could end the whole romance drama. Ochaku is just nothing but romance drama for the most part, which ruined her character for a lot of people. Ochaku deserved a little better than just be potentially Izuku's girlfriend, and she's not even a decent love interest in my opinion. I found she had better chemistry with Katsu Bakugo in the few times she's interacted with him. I'm not saying they got the manga needs to write them as a couple, but if Ochaku ended up with Katsuki, then I feel like that's a little better. It's like, it mirrors Vegeta and Bulma, it mirrors Sasuke and Sakura, so, but I feel like romance kind of made My Hero Academia more screwy. Like, they could have put Izuku with Tsuyu Asui, they could have made him and Melissa thing. He could have put him with Jiro. I don't think the main story changes, so at least that's a good thing, but this whole Izuku Ochaku thing is not as important as people make it out to be, but it could be worse. I'm glad Dragon Ball Z kind of stayed out of the way with romance. Like, I mentioned Vegeta and Bulma earlier, but honestly, they're just kind of there. I don't see the appeal to it. The best thing about them getting together is that Trunks was a thing. I know Bulma was supposed to, like, humble Vegeta in a way, but yeah, I just never really felt anything with that. Now, Gohan and Videl, a little generic for my liking. Krillin and 18, that was the most forced thing I've ever seen. And lastly, Goku and Chi-Chi. You know what? They actually go well together, I would say. Chi-Chi shows Goku a different side of things, and she kind of brings out this innate protective side to him. It's like their love story is kind of simple enough that it's not overbearing, but it's just the right amount that it works for the characters. I feel like that's a good love story where they're just good for each other. It's not like this big dragged out romantic thing. Chi-Chi just likes Goku. Goku doesn't understand romance, but he made a promise that he was going to marry Chi-Chi. So, boom, they end up together. Goku generally does love her. He's just really bad at really showing it. So, the only thing we know is that Goku likes Chi-Chi because he's feisty, as he confirmed in Super. So, and then there's My Little Pony, which was kind of one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this. My Little Pony does not have a lot of canon romance. The few times they've had canon romance, it usually involves Big Macintosh versus Cheer Lee, which involves some love potion. But it does seem like they try to do something with Big Mac and Cheer Lee, then all of a sudden Big Mac has a thing for Marble Pie, which is weird because they keep hinting that she's related to him in some way. So I'm like, dude, don't say they're like cousins and then hint that they like each other. Then they throw in this girl, Sugar Bell, out of nowhere, and I'm like, okay, they're not even trying anymore. So, and it's not a lot of other romance. It's a lot of headcanons about who ended up with who. I'd rather, we know the only other main confirmed romance is Pinkie Pie and Cheese Sandwich. They didn't really show anything with the other characters. As far as the time skip is concerned, they're either single or they're married, but we haven't seen any of their husbands yet. So maybe Twilight ended up with Thunderlane. Just throwing that out there. Fluttershy ended up with Soren. Yeah, I'm just throwing some out there, so don't mind my rambling. I'm glad My Little Pony didn't really make a big deal of romance. So, and then I've even seen this problem with Resident Evil. Leon Kennedy is really bad when it comes to girls. When there's girls like Ada Wong, who's clearly stringing him along, but he's too much of a simp to even notice that. Even though Claire Redfield is right there, Leon is going for this girl who doesn't just I don't know. Leon and Ada is just a really weird, toxic type romance. So, and I've seen a lot of toxic romance. I could go back to Sonic and RG Comics. I'd see Scourge and Fiona. That's a terrible, terrible pairing. Ash and Mina, so generic, and it makes me really glad that Mina split up with Ash for Tails and the Light Mobius stuff. So, it means not like it's bad to say Joker and Harley Quinn, because that's awful. Really, really awful. But, I don't know. Marvel and DC have their shares that I can't even get into this stuff with DC. Marvel, all I'll say is when it comes to Spider-Man, or at least Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy, back in the day, she was alright. A little bratty at points, but I feel like they could have done something more with her, especially if they let her grow. But unfortunately, they did away with her. I mean, there's a second chance that with her back in Spider-Gwen, it could have been good for Peter, but they're not doing anything with that. And then they have Mary Jane, which, like, I will say Mary Jane was ruined for me because of the movies and some of the games, but I just saw her, like, she just seems so generic for me, so I just didn't really care. If Peter ends up with Mary Jane, it doesn't really bother me that much. I just don't feel as invested or just care much. Peter shows good chemistry with, like, Kitty Pryde whenever they're together. Black Cat, I don't even know what's going on with those two. And then there was this girl, Chad, who was from another Marvel universe. I would say she's actually a good partner for Peter because, one, she has powers. She can protect herself. Her powers include communicating with animals, so she could have them fight, or she'll help. They help her with her healing. Well, actually, not healing. She learned how to be a nurse on her own without the animals. But point is, she's capable of taking care of herself. She's really good to Peter, so it's a shame that never became canon in the mainline Marvel Comics. But such is life. That's all I wanted to say when it came to romance. I know there's more I could talk about, but I really don't want to drag it on too long. But yeah, I'll see you around. I'm out.